Congratulations to boxing pound for pound #1, Terence "Bud" Crawford, for knocking out Shawn Porter, a fighter that had never been stopped before. A fighter who has the best resume in boxing. He gave us so many classic fights. No one does this to Shawn Porter, but pound for pound #1, Terence "Bud" Crawford. This one to prove and stamp that he is the king of boxing. Unlike other fighters who requested a franchise witness protection in order to avoid their tough mandatories, Terence Crawford accepted the challenge with open arms. Nevertheless, a lot of people were surprised at Kenny Porter, the trainer and father of Shawn Porter, for stopping the fight after Shawn Porter got dropped twice in the 10th round by throwing the white towel. Well, the reason was very simple. Terence Crawford is the best finisher in the game. Bud has that killer instinct in him. I said it once and I'm gonna say it again. Terence Crawford is not just boxing #1 pound for pound. He's also one of the hardest punchers pound for pound. He stopped his last 9 opponents at bigger weight divisions in a violent fashion against Jeff Horn, Benavidez, Kell Brook, and tonight against Shawn Porter. This was something special. This is the reason why Terence Crawford is the boogeyman in the sport of boxing and have been avoided for years, because everyone knows his potential. From Danny Garcia, Errol Spence, Keith Thurman, etc., etc., etc. It took a real warrior to hop in the ring with Shawn Porter, and he got exactly what he asked for. Furthermore, from the first bell, this fight played out exactly how I predicted. Shawn Porter was ready for war. So was Terence Crawford. One thing about Porter, he always elevated his game and got better as his career continued. From the Keith Thurman fight, Danny Garcia, Errol Spence, and tonight, this was Shawn Porter's best version. However, Shawn Porter met his ceiling when he faced Terence Crawford in the ring. As Terence Crawford displayed, what is it like to be in the ring with one of the GOATs? Shawn Porter came in the first round with controlled aggression. He took a page out of the Adrian Broner fight, mixing his offense with defense and being patient with his aggression. Meanwhile, Crawford was doing what he usually does, which is calculate and figure out his opponent in the first couple rounds. Now, Shawn Porter won the first round off simply being more active. Then Crawford came back and won the second round. Bud wasted little to no time to invest to the body. I told you guys that Crawford, he's one of the best counterpunchers to the body, which is super effective when fighting Shawn due to his head movement, especially when Shawn explodes in sequences, which makes it very hard to time him to the head with a counter. There was a lot of occasions where Bud tried to counter Porter to the head and missed by an inch whenever Porter lunged forward. Now, as the fight continued, Shawn made the fight ugly in sequences, which gave him a lot of success. He won the 3rd and 4th round by doing so. In the meantime, Crawford wasn't as active with his jab as usual due to the fact that Shawn Porter was trying his best to counter Crawford's jab every single time. He even succeeded with an overhand right every now and then. However, from the 6th round forward, Crawford got into his rhythm and started to catch Shawn Porter coming in more and more and more. He raised his level of intensity. He raised his game to another level. For the people that was wondering, why wasn't Shawn as aggressive as usual? Well, the answer is what was coming back. The counterpunching ability, the timing, and the power of Terence Crawford. Shawn Porter respected every single one. It felt like Porter was fighting Keith Thurman, Errol Spence, Danny Garcia, Ugas, all combined in one when he was fighting Crawford. Bud is what you call a completer fighter. And even when Porter tried to maul Terence Crawford by manhandling him, Crawford retaliated right back, showing Porter that he's even the stronger man. I told every single person that would listen, Porter is not going to be able to maul Crawford, since Crawford already showed that element in his game when he fought Jeff Horn. Jeff Horn bullied Pacquiao. However, when he fought Crawford, it was Crawford that bullied Jeff Horn. So as the fight continued, Crawford started to dominate more and more, landing precise counter shots, turning Shawn every single time. Bud had the footwork to match Porter, which gave Porter a lot of trouble. Then in the 9th round, Crawford completely made a separation between him and Porter, where he completely dominated Porter. So when the 10th round came, Crawford managed to catch Porter coming in, lunging in with a counter uppercut that dropped Shawn Porter, hurting him real bad in the process. And to no secret, Crawford went for the kill and got the job done. Obviously, Kenny Porter threw the white towel in to save his son because he knows Crawford better than anybody else. Bud had that killer instinct in his eyes. He was ready to finish Shawn Porter on some Mortal Kombat stuff. What really put the icing on the cake was Porter's reaction. He stumbled getting back up after hitting the canvas many times. That's when Kenny realized that his son was really dazed. So he did the right thing by saving him. Therefore, to all of the doubters that doubted Crawford when he knocked out Kell Brook, Benavidez, Jeff Horn, and downgraded his accomplishments when he became undisputed, but with the same breath, they called Canelo the greatest when he became undisputed 4 years later. What do you guys have to say now? There isn't a bigger statement to make than knocking out Shawn Porter, a proven fighter in the game. And what does Errol Spence have to say now, along with the rest of the welterweight division? This performance demands respect. Last but not least, Crawford called out Errol Spence once again. So is Errol going to answer the call? Who is going to answer the call at the welterweight division? Crawford said leading up to this fight, after what the welterweight division see what I do to Porter, they going to stay away from me even more. Nevertheless, that's another video for another day. Drop your thoughts in the comment section below. Subscribe below and click on the notification bell to be continued on the next episode of AKHi, AKHi TV. Peace, and I'm on to the next one.